Shalom, Yasha Allah, my brothers and sisters, all in the diaspora, to the old and young, to our babies, Yakesho. We thank the Mashiach and the Father of our Mashiach and Warawak for this wonderful and blessed privilege that He has granted unto us to come and share with you another blessing, another word of hope in Yasha Allah to strengthen the brethren all in the diaspora. And for those of the nations who are seeking strength from the word of Allah Hayim and our Mashiach by the Ruach, we invite all to come to the feast now and be fed by Father Ruach. Our lesson today, as we continue on towards the Day of Atonement, as we continue towards the appointed time of our Mashiach coming to see about us. Do you remember when the Most High asked our forefather Moshe, to get the children of Yasha Allah ready to see him, that he may talk with them. At one point, they almost cussed out Moshe. And, they were telling him, they were saying, well, who do you think you are? Why can't we talk to the Most High ourselves? And when the Most High called for them, they back up. They say, you speak with him. Don't let him speak with us, as we're going to die. In any case, we have the privilege again to hear from him. And so let's get right into it. Our lesson is the price of forgiveness. As we march on towards the atonement, we encourage you, brethren, take heart, take courage, and let's fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life. I know there are many areas and times of great testing, and there are hidden matters that would seem to be able to derail us and set us back. But we have to keep on looking unto Hamashiach, the author and finisher of our faith, and learn to overcome, even as he overcame. As we move on toward our freedom by the hand and the decree of our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the Ruach of Alahaya, and our Savior, Hamashiach, we have prepared for us a time of personal house cleaning. We have to engage in this house cleaning. That is the personal house, our temple of the Ruach. We have to now engage in a personal house cleaning from the point or the position or the place of emotional, psychological, and spiritual cleansing that results in physical healing. So here we are encouraged then to consider the price of forgiveness, for we have been shown over and again that forgiveness, the work of forgiveness, is a definite and unavoidable transaction on the way to release from our enemies. You would recall that at the time of the passion of our Mashiach, at the crucifixion, he spoke the memorable words, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." In our colloquial way of speaking, we say, they know what they're doing. Forgive them, please. This is what the Mashiach had to do for us. He pleaded forgiveness for us. And it is a bold and primary example of the way we, Yasha Allah, ought to behave ourselves. And especially now, as we, in the time of preparation for dislocation from our oppressors who oppressed us for hundreds of years. I mean, oppression, we endured oppression and gave them service with a smile. Service under whippings, service under breakings, service under verbal, physical abuse. We served them with a smile. In many instances, you know, there was a whole lot of groaning and moaning, and I would guess there was some cussings going on too, under the oppression of the oppressor, under the Masonic, satanic, diabolical Edomite oppression. And I believe it's so good now for us that the Father has put in an order to the nations and to the chief of the nations that has been allowed to have 400 years of free service from us. And now it's come time for them to pay up. Well, we see that they have some difficulty with themselves concerning the matter of paying up. You know, there's some grumbling and groanings in the midst of them. but we know the word of our Heavenly Father never fails. So we're looking forward to receiving from our Elohim as he has promised us. But as we consider the matters at hand in terms of our being set free from our oppressors, we find that forgiveness is a key component in having our freedom transacted. You see? And so while our enemies and our oppressors have, gotten the privilege to oppress us, distress us, murder us, rape us, and a whole lot more, we come to the time when, like our Mashiach, as he was being nailed to the tree, he prayed a prayer. And he said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Imagine that. Whippings all night long, beatings, being spat upon, slapped, and a whole lot more. But he said, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And I have to encourage you, as your brother, that we follow the like example. It ain't easy, brothers and sisters. It wasn't easy then for the Mashiach. You remember as he warned his apostles that the Son of Man is going up to Jerusalem to be crucified and evil entreated in the hands of sinners. But he had to go. They were upset. The apostles, they were upset. I mean, we'll fight for you to the death. But he said, all of you are gonna forsake me tonight. All right. So we're speaking this word to have you see and understand that Hamashiach was our prime example. Now he says to us in parts of the scriptures, take the apostles and prophets for examples of suffering. The Mashiach himself, being the chief cornerstone, was and is the prime example of suffering, because all our prophets and apostles and servants, they had faults. If only one, they had a fault. But the Mashiach, we are told, knew no sin. And yet, the righteous for the unrighteous gave up his life to redeem us. And therefore, in another scripture, as I think we read in Hebrews 10 and 31, I believe it is, where he says, the Most High says, vengeance is mine. I will repay. And so in spite of all the brutalization we suffered in 400 years of brutal, unmerciful slavery by the nations, who, we might add, even at this time, the Most High is bringing plague on them, plagues. And they secretly wish that they had the wherewithal to reach out and grab us and do their will upon us. It's been taking them a while to understand that they're getting what Egypt got in the old days for refusing to let the people of the Most High go. So, I mean, if you want more beating, come and get it. Most High got it for you. But we, as brothers and sisters, the children of the Most High, with our youth, children to pay. See, there's a price, and the price of forgiveness. I mean, you want forgiveness, or you want to learn the method or the way to exercise forgiveness. It is done by the price of humility. We got to be humble, brothers and sisters. And maybe I could say, or should say, it is a hard thing to do. Really hard. I mean, in some cases, it is, or it seems, extremely difficult to do when you consider some methods of treatment that there are those of us who endure sufferings, persecutions, strife, all the torments that the wicked could give, they give us, they heap upon us. But the Mashiach says, and Hebrews 10, 31, somewhere there, he says, vengeance is mine, I will repay. So we must learn to forgive. Forgiveness means then, as we move on to the atonement, forgiveness means that we give over to the Mashiach. Since he paid the price to redeem us, those who have done us wrong or who persecute us, we turn them over to him. He paid for us. And so now he's taking it upon himself to work out the matter of our being brutalized and persecuted, broken, whatever, by the nations, or even amongst ourselves. We persecute one another. But for all the wrongs, the Mashiach says, leave it to me. You leave them to me. I will repay. And so we have to look past the wrongful treatment that we get or have gotten and may yet get. Mashiach says, it's all right. Leave it to me. And the atonement coming, we're going to lay all our cares at the feet of the Mashiach. I mean, all the hurt and pains that we have suffered from our enemies, the nations. And now we have Esau himself and our brother Levi, our brothers, because not all the Levites have turned on the Most High. I dare to believe that not all of them have turned against the Most High. But for those who have done so, the persecution that the children of Al-Hayim have suffered from these brutal, unbelieving ones unwilling to receive of the grace of Al-Hayim, Yahweh, his grace in Mashiach and in Warawak, they have refused, most of them. And seeing us as the heirs of the grace of the Most High in Mashiach, and those being those whom the Mashiach has brought the kingdom to, the kingdom that Father Yahweh gave unto him to bring for us, to us, we need to learn humility to receive what our Mashiach has for us. You see, you have a scripture that says, by grace are ye saved, through faith, because it is the gift of Elohim, not of works. Otherwise, you would have some people boasting, look how good I am, look what I have achieved. But it is the free gift of our Most High Elohim. And so, being a free gift, we are advised that in respect to the one who's given the gift, we have to lay down or put aside all claims to ownership of the righteousness of faith. It is by faith in the Mashiach we have been saved, are saved, and appointed as heirs of the kingdom. And so, I have said it time and again unto you, and I'm saying it again now. Forgiveness, particularly at this time of atonement, since we are called to reckon or to give a reckoning of our actions and produce a witness of our what's the word I need? Submission. I'll use the word submission for want of a better one. But we are going to exercise or show humility by relinquishing all claims to any authority within ourselves, any righteousness, any goodness within ourselves. We're putting that at the foot of Mashiach. On the Day of Atonement, he's going to atone for everything. The warfare that we've been in, battles we've been in, and in many of those battles, the Ruach gave us victory. We won many battles and felt good about it. We give thanks that the Father showed us, taught us by the Ruach, and with the help of the Malachims, we won many battles for the Most High. All of that we're bringing as trophies to lay down at the feet of the Mashiach, because in the atonement, he's the one taking on the burden for all of that. All of our losses, all of our gains, some battles we had to go in and over to get the victory over it. And so those battles that we kind of lost or had to endure such trial coaching by the Ruach, by the word, to help us get over. We're giving the word I need is we are acknowledging our ability to win those wars, ability granted unto us in the Ruach and unto the Mashiach. So he's getting the credit for it. You know, they say, crown him with many crowns, the Lamb upon his throne. Yeah. All our crowns and all our gifts. I mean, you know, whatever we have achieved, we lay it at his feet to add to his esteem. You see? And he will atone for it in the atonement. And for the one who stands at the head of the children of this world, who have evil entreated us, made our life so hard because they wished to turn us back, turn back, to come off the road of salvation and to go into darkness. But we fought, we held on because of the faith in Mashiach, because of the understanding of how he warred. He warred against the enemies and was victorious. Right on, King Mashiach. Right on in majesty. You see? He won the battles. He won the victory over all the enemies. All of them. Yes, not one can claim victory over him. No way. And so in him, we won our battles. So we giving the credit to him in this atonement. And once he has taken on, he's taken on our, let's say, he's taken on our problems, our issues on himself. And once he has done that, he transfers all our failures, you know, all those times of being down and out as we grapple with the enemies for the mastery, all the pain and suffering we have to endure. Mashiach grabs it, transfers it over to the scapegoat. That's Gadriel, the fallen one. He becomes responsible for the pressures and the pain and suffering his children put upon us. Mashiach, in the sanctuary, come Day of Atonement, he's turning it over onto the scapegoat. That's Gadriel. That's how it's going to happen. And so we ought to now be real enthused about shedding ourselves of, you know, any responsibilities, because it belongs to the Mashiach to stand up for us, stand in our place against the chief adversary, who must stand for his people that did all the dirt, all the damages to the saints of the Most High. You see how that works? The scapegoat standing up for his people as he received all the pain for the pain his people gave to the people of Most High. The Mashiach puts the blessing of peace and reward upon his people, upon his children. That's how it's going to go down, this atonement. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the price of forgiveness. We see then that as the forgiveness requires of us a personal house cleansing, and that we go through a time of examination in our own selves. We examine our own hearts to see whether we have, found everything. We do the best we can, and the Spirit of the Most High would do the rest. But we make the best effort we can, to find those trouble spots that we have had to grapple with, those issues. Some, you probably forget about them, or they lose importance in your mind. But as far as we can, we call up everything that we can remember. Discrepancies, rowdiness and fighting and cussing and all that stuff. Call it up and we turn it over to the Mashiach. So we mentioned physical healing in the midst as we go through this atonement. No doubt, many people are going to get healing. We talk about we have talked about what's the word? We talked about trying or looking into finding the path of healing for our people, and the aftermath of such suffering that we went through in the enslavement period. And so in the atonement coming, as we lay down sins, as we lay down our grudges, all our disgruntlement, as we lay these matters down, soul searching, lay them down to the Mashiach, we're going to experience some healing, many of us. Now, the Most High, the Mashiach says that you're not going to heal everybody totally. So, this is between the individual and him, how he administers the healing. But there are going to be healings. Yes. Some sorrows going to be wiped away. Pains going to be wiped away. Fractures and brokenness going to be healed in this atonement. If you apply yourself, brothers and sisters, Mashiach has it for us, and he's waiting to bless us with it. So the dictionary defines catharsis. We talk about the idea or the matter of catharsis and forgiveness. And as I was saying, the dictionary defines catharsis as emotional release, freeing repressed emotions by associating repressed emotion with the cause. In other words, there are emotional issues that cause emotional problems in our personal systems, and having these repressed emotions from mistreatment and abuse by some other. And much of the time, or in cases of severe abuse by whatever means, many times the experience we say repressed. It's pushed down into the deep areas of our consciousness, as a way of getting rid of the pain, the hurt that the experience brings to you or brings to us. And so, yes, we have catharsis being or achieving the position of experiencing an emotional release, because you come to the place, by whatever means, there may be a speaker in your midst at some time, maybe a service or a get together of some sort, and you have a speaker that gives an address of some matter. And because of the address that he or she gives, your particular situation is fleshed out, and revelation comes in that address that the individual gives. I mean, especially if it's a matter of biblical exegesis that broadens your scope of understanding for a particular problem you might have been having. Might have been for years you had this problem, you didn't know how to address it, you didn't know how to flesh it out, and how to get relief for the matter. It bothered you, gave you pains, headaches, sleepless nights. Try to solve the issue in your mind. It might have been a problematic relationship with a spouse or a neighbor, a family member, some matter that caused you or causes you deep emotional stress. And of course, doctors talk about psychosomatic illnesses. You have emotional conflicts that causes individuals to react by physical pain, physical distress. And so we talk about catharsis by way of relating to these emotional pains, emotional distresses, that once that the issue gets redressed, and the individual, whoever is being oppressed by the situation, gets to be able to come to grips with the issue of concern, and get to experience a release of the pressure valve, the situation that was causing so much concern. Once that particular thing is redressed and the individual gets to hear and to be able to see what were the issues that caused so much pain, that the misunderstanding, whatever it would have been, that was in the way of clearance. Once that clearance has been reached, then pressure comes off of that area where, there was a lack of understanding and vision and clarity for the situation. Yes, catharsis, an emotional release that also has with it physical relief from stress. And so, yes, we learn to purge out, clean out, a catharsis, a cleaning out of a clogged emotional state. You're troubled about a situation, a matter, but the situation is talked about, explained in such a way that problem solved. So you experience a catharsis. You get clearance. You get relief, and all is well. Such is what we are aiming for in this atonement, that the Mashiach, through his intervention in the most holy place of the sanctuary, as he goes through the transaction, we, those who participate according to the standard set by him in the scriptures, will experience cleansing, cleaning out, release. We got to expect it in this atonement process coming up. And so, in a catharsis, we get rid of the cause. We understand what was the problem, and now we can let it go. We can let it go. We can purge out the matter, expunge it. See? And thereby receive great physical benefit. I'm sure you know of or heard of individuals that had some physical discomfort, serious physical discomfort as well. But when the situation, the matter that they were concerned about, purged, they understood what it was that was causing them so much concern. They let it go. And everything is hunky-dory again. They feel well. This is what the atonement is coming to do for us, brothers and sisters. We'll be letting go all grudges against the nations that have hurt us and sought to destroy us, letting it go. Mashiach taking it up as his personal concern. And once he's finished his transaction, he turns over the results unto the fallen one who caused all the damage for us. Because we are transitioning to go back towards our homeland. That so many people are dying today because they wish to block our way, as the Father is calling us. The children of the Romans who crucified the Mashiach, they're right here in your midst. In the Bahamas, yeah, they're here for sure. And I'm sure in North America, they are there in abundance, as well as in many other areas. They're in abundance, trying to block our way. And the Most High putting some stress on them. And you know, as we talk about forgiveness, these people would have you forget about what's going on with you and what they're doing to you. They would like to have you forget about that and think about what's going on with them, what they caused upon themselves for trying to exterminate you and me. But now the Most High has turned the favor and turned the pressure valve on them. And they would like to switch over and have you feel some kind of way, you know, for their plight that they reaped, for their efforts to stomp you and block your way from going where the Most High sent you. So we have to be wise in this time to not allow our emotions to get in the way of our progress. You know, this is what the enemies would like to see. They'd like to see you stop from making your way to go away from their tortures. And they're the ones who cause your tortures. And of course, their tortures, because the Most High is putting the pressure on them to get you released. They want you to forget that and take care of them. We can't do it, brothers. Oh, be wise. So, I remind you then, forgiveness is a huge requisite that our Most High asks of us to exercise toward all our enemies, all of them, the worst of our enemies, the worstest of them, as we say locally, the worstest of them. The Mashiach wants us to learn how to exercise his type of forgiveness. Forgive them, let it go. I mean, I think I shared with you very recently how I had to exercise forgiveness towards my aunt and her Masonic lover who were oppressing me from I was less than 2 weeks old. And I am only now, this year in May, I've been released from that because the Spirit, the Ruach of the Most High, revealed to me what had happened. But my aunt wouldn't tell me. And as the Ruach showed me by revelation what had happened, I could relate to it because of the physical things that had happened into my life that was right in line with in the manner of how he revealed it, what had happened to me. So I know. So it's approximately 70 years. The Masonic have been destroying my life. But the Father say, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And you know, because I followed the advice of the Mashiach, not everything is, you know, finished at the said moment, but I am long past where I was stuck for approximately 70 years by the Masonic enemies. But I forgive, as the Mashiach says, and it put me on the path to healing. I'm in much better case. And so I invite you in this atonement series to practice what you preach. And let's forgive all our enemies. Let the Mashiach take the burden on him. He got some broad shoulders. if he could bear the sin of the whole world, he got to have some dynamic shoulders, wouldn't you say? Yes. Let's give it to him. That one who hurt you so bad, that sister who hurt you so bad, my dear, let it go. I know you ladies, you like to bicker and you like to cry when you get hurt. you do some crying, I know. But let it go. Let the Mashiach take it. Because there's a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Let's receive it, brothers and sisters. So, I only want to reinforce the warning about the enemies who now, I think quite a few of them have begun to receive the understanding that the Most High has called us to freedom. And so I suppose a couple of them trying to reconcile themselves to what's going on. I'd like to say to them, if they don't own up to what's going on and to own up to the terrorism they practiced upon us for 400 years, the sadness can be theirs. Because if you want to fly up in the face of the Most High, as you think you are the Romans, and you got a historical record of butchering nations, you had it to your credit. Oh, you brag on it. Oh yeah, you are a high flying devil. Destroyed many people. Now you want to destroy the cream of the crop, the people of the Most High. You got your hands full. Shandi. So we are called upon to forgive. I'm saying Roman devils. Yeah. Eat them. Forgive them without embracing them. And put in for our reparations promised by Al-Hayam. You see, the Mashiach is actually waiting on us, you know. Edom and Levi set themselves in the way of us receiving what is rightfully ours, because they enslaved us for 400 years. And oh yes, you heard them asking already. They want 400 more years. All right. So, but as we go through the atonement and get it right, set ourselves right with the Most High, Yahweh, yeah, you know, Yahweh Shai, our Malak. As we set matters right, Mashiach, put out the ABP on Esau, put him an ABP on him. With our boy Levi, the Mashiach put the ABP on them, and they would find out how fast they could come and deliver what was commanded of them. Shake Tobo. And so we I believe we are required to relinquish the foolish, silly ideas of interracial sexual, that thing. Can you let interracial sex privilege rob you of your relationship with the Most High and rob you of your reparations? You're willing to grant the enemy that kind of access to rob you by enslaving you and brutalizing you for 400 years, and then you take a couple minutes of sex from the enemy, male or female, and you let go. You 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 scratch it off. All that brutality you received, you let them go for a little sexual favor. Come on, Yasha Allah. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. We are warned, we are asked to be sober, be vigilant, because our adversary, Satan, vigilant, cunning, crafty, going about seeking whom he can devour, wants to devour us, Yasha Allah. It's the chosen of the Most High. And we got to stand so that those of the nations who are looking for the example of how to stand, you see it from us, Yasha Allah. I want to read now. Well, let me say first, then we want to disconnect ourselves from fighting against the Most High, as we have been doing. Yeah, I know a lot of you want to remonstrate, you want to talk back. Yeah, but we have been pretty feisty against the Most High. Who could, touch us with his finger like that? We're gone. No, but he, because of his mercy, because of his promise that he made to Abraham, he loved our father Abraham. Oh yeah, Abanawa loved our father Abraham. Those forefathers, he loved them with an everlasting love. And therefore, because of their willingness to do his bidding, do his will, to build the kingdom, he loved them so much that he's willing to put up with us. We the little the runts, the last of the Mohicans. The Father is willing to put up with us to seek to save us. See? So let's stop fighting. What is the chaff to the wheat? How do you stand a chance if you want to stand up against the Most High, like Edom pretends that he wants to do? You want to stand up against the Most High? Let's not do that, Yasha Allah. And let's pray. Let's ask it. Let's ask Mashiach. Let's ask for strength. Let's ask for mercy. Say, Father, have mercy on us, please. Help us. We want to do what you say. We love you. We appreciate you. We want to abide by the Torah. But we have our own personal weakness. And then we have the overdraft of the enemies fighting. The enemies are fighting. Be sober, be vigilant for your adversary, the devil, and Edom. And now you have Levi added to the mix. You're all fighting for your demise. Don't give them that opportunity, Yasha Allah. Because some pain, some real suffering. That's what the Mashiach went through. Some real suffering. And see, when you start to suffer like that, and it gets you to the point where you want to throw the Most High away because you think you're suffering too much, that gives you an opportunity to recognize what kind of suffering the Mashiach went through. Because some of us think that it was a joke what he went through. You think it was, he could do it. No, he went through a real way. Took some real pain, punishment, brutalization for the sin of the whole world. You and I, we only getting some payback for our own sins. But he took on the case for the whole world. That's some Mashiach for you. That's some love. That's some grace. That's some power. And that power is coming in the atonement. Raise you up, Yasha Allah. Get you prepared. Freedom, extraction from the brutality of slavery that you endured for 400 years. And the bastards don't want to let you go now. They're suffering from corona. Every moment they could get up out of that and snatch out of you and me. But we give thanks. So yeah, let's give thanks for the chastisement. Yeah, let's thank the Most High. He chastised us. Chastise our behind. Too rude. You're too rude and feisty. Believe you can do it. How can you stand up in the face of the Most High? Brothers and sisters, how come we don't rather fall on our faces, say, Father, forgive me, forgive us, and help us? And won't that be a better position than to think you could stand up and fight with him, fight against him, and fight with him? Let Edom continue that practice. You don't do it because you understand. You know the Most High made the heaven and the earth. How could you figure that you could stand up and fight with him? But he loves us with an everlasting love. Come on, Yashala, let's take a hold of that promise. Let us be accepting of the grace. He's willing to teach us what we don't know. So, if he's calling us, any one of us or any number of us, if he's calling us to a service, we need to say, Abba, I don't know what to do. Show me. Please help me. He'll send the help. Guaranteed. And when you read the scriptures, it's self-evident that the Most High gives help to those who call out to him for it, because he wants to save us. He's ready to set the kingdom up, We've been holding him back. We've been holding the Mashiach back because he's trying to get us to come in line with him. All that power he has, he's waiting on you and me to come and cooperate with him. I want to read you a few verses from Ephesians chapter 6. Let's read it, brothers, and then we'll be out of here. Ephesians, come on. Ephesians chapter 6. And we read from verse 10. Verse 10 to 19. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High, Yahweh, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Elohim, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles, tricks of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Sometimes we forget. It's not altogether the sister who causing you some problems, daughter. It's not always or only the brother giving you some problems, brother. It is against principalities, against powers. We're talking about for a large part, invisible entities They hide away from you. They could show themselves, and they do often do. But they hide and they practice terrorism against you. And then they get others, humans, to work along with them through their sorcery and witchcraft and so forth, to threaten you, cause you to fear, worry, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Elohim. Abba, Elohim has an armor. Now, I know you've seen some representation of armor, of a battle armor for a war soldier. And in here we have representation of what the armor looks like. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Elohim, verse 13, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the good news of peace, of shalom. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Elohim. The same Bible you have, that's the word of Elohim. Give attention to it. And praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit. So with the armor of the Most High, as described here, you have to exercise prayer. Don't be afraid to fall on your knees or on our faces, as the case may be. Pour out our hearts. For a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever the case, we got to learn humility, humble ourselves before Him, and give Him honor and esteem. Praise Him for His excellent goodness and kindness that is great toward us. Let's learn. Praise our Elohim. Give Him honor and esteem, for He's great and greatly to be praised. And He got your back. So let it be.